If you believe that speech should be free, if you believe that your voice should be heard and that your voice should be as powerful as my voice or his voice or her voice, propose this motion. Agree that hate speech is not a human right.
As the centuries go by, religion has less and less room to exist and perform its obscurantist interference with the search for truth.
A matter of building precisely those relations of compassion, fellow feeling, and, I dare to use the word, inclusion.
I don't care about the source of morality. I want to talk about morality, meaning about ethics, about the fact that we need ethics in politics, ethics in economy. And why do you want me to disappear from the discussion because I'm coming from an organized religion? Don't do that.
The simple idea that you can trust nuclear weapons, these weapons are extremely genocidal in the hands of a few lone countries that were on the lucky side of World War II is a lie. By the fact of not entering a nuclear war. The Revolutionary Guard have control most of the oil and natural gas resources and don't want nuclear war, and it certainly wouldn't want their entire country to burn in response of a sustained Israel rocket launch attack.
So it's absolute nonsense to say that Labour are helping the poorest in society and that this government is not. The truth is actually the reverse. And under this government, the rich will pay a greater share of tax every year of this Parliament than in any one of the 13 years under Labour.
Oxbridge has a duty, yes, it has a duty to reform its internal culture. It focuses only on our degree, on our internship, on our job, on our CV points.
The objectionable was the assault upon our constitution and upon our liberties, which New Labour launched and persisted with. It was like listening to the tolling of a funeral bell. I think the Iraq War was one of the most disgraceful, unforgivable, blood-stained, regressible acts undertaken by any British government, including the Suez Adventure, and I do not think that they can ever apologise enough for it or be ashamed enough of what they did.
But ultimately, in that moment, this pillar of law collapsed, okay? She collapsed, and for her to collapse once represents to me that law is fallible, law is crumbling like a falling little donkey, and that is why I say that the law is an ass, and I hope to the laws above that you will join me in voting for this proposition. Thank you very much.
And if you honestly believe sex has no meaning nowadays, then listen to what she said. Sex is an idea, a story built up in people's heads based on personal experience that becomes physically translated from a thought to action.
Republicans are dangerous extremists. They are belligerent and reckless on foreign policy. They continue to be ideologically committed to the discredited neoliberal economic policies of deregulation that caused the current economic crisis. And they are violently opposed to the extension of basic social rights for the protection of vulnerable and disempowered groups.
While Obama has drawn down forces in Iraq and Afghanistan, he has shifted warfare to a state of being removed from the American people. This is a war that nobody can really judge. So think about this, 3,000 people dead, and we're not even talking about it on a large scale.
It's the most benign thing that human beings have ever done. Nobody invented capitalism. No one has sat down and said, look, I've got this wonderful system. No. It evolved from the ways in which people deal with each other.
Capitalism is not going to change. As Bernanke and Poser indicate, it's inherently unstable. Policymakers can't prevent all crises, so the bailouts are going to continue.